Greetings and welcome to the results video for our pick a card for the week of Sunday, September 22nd through Saturday, September 28th. You are to select card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. Now, this pick a card reading is all about Libra season because this week we are actually moving into Libra season, and the ruling planet of Libra is Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and attraction. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my opening message here. If you would like to go ahead and skip ahead to your cards, I do have a timestamp down below in my description box so that you will know exactly what minute to skip ahead to. However, I highly encourage that you listen to this opening message because it will give you deeper insight into what your cards mean and to the message of your cards. However, if you do want to skip ahead, you can do that and then come back here to this opening message. So, we are moving into Libra season this week, and Libra is the 7th sign of the zodiac, and it is ruled by the planet Venus. So we're coming out of Virgo season and we're moving into Libra, and Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, which is the planet of beauty, attraction, love, romance, sweetness, all of those sorts of things. And so that's what this week's reading is all about. Now, though this isn't a quote unquote love reading, this pick a card is about pulling and attracting into your life the things and situations and circumstances and people that you love. And as someone who does readings and other what some people may say magical work, but just alignment work is what I do, for lack of a better term, at this moment. When you're going after something that you desire for your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it is a job, whether it is a home, whatever it is that you're trying to attract into your life, it's not about attracting something that you don't measure up to, right? It's not about trying to pull something into your life that you don't feel that you deserve, that you can have, or that you feel that, is above your pay grade, that you feel is above you, or that belongs to someone else. So I want to be clear. When talking about love, attraction, beauty, and just attracting into your life whatever goodness that you desire, whatever sweetness you desire for your life, it's about aligning yourself to that particular person or that particular thing. And even when I say that particular person, I'm not saying, you may have an idea in your mind like, ooh, I really want this specific guy to like me, or this specific woman to be turned on by me, or I want this specific job. It's really about praying for, asking for, and aligning to what is best for you. Because you may want a specific person, like you may have this, you may have somebody that you're crushing on, but you don't know really what type of person they are once they're in an actual relationship. And so you could just be pulling somebody to you that may not be for your highest good, or a job that may not be for your highest good. And so attraction, the saying is true, you do attract what you are, so if you have a certain standard in your life, then that is what you pull into your life. Of course, there's always some, flies come around honey the same way as bees do. So, sometimes, people that you don't want are attracted to, you for whatever reason, but whatever really sticks to you, whatever you really hold on to, and whatever you really go after is because it is aligned to who you are. There's a saying, I saw this on social media before, that we date according to our self-esteem. Our relationship is a reflection of our self-esteem. And I would say that about anything, whether it's your job or your home or whatever, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And it's not about what the world and other people say is the best, right? So for example, I some years ago, I had gotten 2 different job offers, and one paid more and had more status. The other one paid less and had, there was nothing really attractive to a lot of people about it, but I knew it was best for me at that time. And so I chose what some people would consider lesser, but it was actually better for me, right? So, better doesn't always mean the same thing to all people, but it is about attracting into your life what is best for you and what is good for you. And so when you are attracting, I often tell people, when you are pulling into your life, when you're wanting to elevate your life, when you're wanting to make certain changes in your life and bring certain things in, it is always best to rise yourself up to that level. Now, it's not about competing with that thing, right? It's about rising up to that level. For example, let's just say you want a luxury vehicle. You want a nicer car. It's not about then, okay, I gotta already have a nice car in order to pull into my life a nicer car. No, it is about taking care of the car you have right now as though it is the car that you want. When you are trying to pull love into your life, it's not about, okay, doing all of this external stuff only, like just getting your hair done, getting your hair cut, whatever, wearing the nicest outfit, in hopes of attracting someone that you think you would be lucky to have. No, it's about becoming the person that the other person would be lucky to have already. It's about already loving yourself, already elevating yourself, and not in a conceited, self-centered way, but honoring yourself. Because if you don't feel that you're worthy of this type of relationship that's in your mind, then why would that guy or that woman even be attracted to you? Because your ideal person more than likely is not attracted to somebody who has a low self-esteem. And if they are, in the long term, they're not your best bet, because they would need you to stay on a low level in order for them to like you. Have you ever seen people like that where, they only want a man or woman who feels bad about themselves, so that way it makes them feel good about themselves? You don't want that kind of person. You want the kind of person that supports you in your highest state, supports you in your elevated state, and your best self. So in order to attract the best, you become the best. And in order to pull the best into your life, you have to become that better person. Another example and this is something that I share often with my own clients, sometimes I get people who say that they want to elevate their lives in a certain way. Maybe they want a better relationship. Maybe they want more money, a better job, a better car, travel, whatever it is, right? Because they have this vision that there's some better life out there for them. And then when I look at how they live their day-to-day lives now, they don't ever treat themselves well. They don't take care of themselves. They say they want an elevated income, but they don't even treat themselves to small luxuries, right? When I say small luxuries, I mean, if you're saying, I want to have all of these luxurious dinners, for example, I want to eat good food, right? And, opportunities come up for you to just spend $1 or $2 on something that is good and tasty, but maybe it's just inexpensive, and you're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't treat myself to that. It's like you're already sending the signal out that you can't, that you are unworthy, that you can't have it, the better that you're going for. So it's about treating yourself to even small luxuries now, while you don't have the husband, wife, partner, job, car, whatever it is that you're hoping for. But, treating yourself to those small things now. You may want a trip to Paris, or to go on a safari in Southeast Africa, wherever, right? But if you don't even take an opportunity to go to a museum in your local area where you live now, because you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, I just want to go to Paris. You have to create Parisian moments or, luxury African trips and whatever now in your home, in the city in which you live right now. And so I'm talking in this way because love and attraction and beauty is so much bigger than, just having a partner to share love with, to have romantic dinners with, and to even have wonderful sexual relationships with and whatnot. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. It's about becoming the person who can attract that into their lives because you are already exuding that kind of energy. That's what the planet Venus is all about. Now, Venus rules two signs. It rules the sign of Taurus and it rules the sign of Libra. And it rules both of those signs in different ways. Taurus is more so about the passionate, sexual energy, the luxury material items, because Taurus is an earth sign, so it deals with the material world. Libra is about the beauty of life in general, the beauty of ideas, the beauty of justice, even, because Libra rules balance and being in balance and being fair and balanced and in harmony, being harmonious. And the beauty that comes out of living in that way. So this Libra season, I feel that we are all encouraged to look at how we can live more harmonious and balanced within ourselves so that we can pull to us the love that is harmonious to us, the relationships that are harmonious to us, the cars, the job, the money, the homes, the travel, the experience of life that is harmonious to who we are. All right. So that is what we are looking at in this pick a card reading, is becoming more harmonious to the lovely experiences that we desire for our lives. All right. So make sure that you click the link below to book your own personal reading. These pick a card readings are pretty general. You are not the only one who selected number 1, 2, or 3. So if you want a reading that is more geared to whatever questions you have in your life, make sure that you click the link below and select the general question reading. And that is where you can ask any question, and I will pull cards specifically for you. And it's a private reading, and to help give you the clarity that you need. You can also book The Magic of Self-Love. You can get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. You can also book The Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, because you may not be a Libra sun sign, but Libra is somewhere in your chart and you want to see how that energy is playing out specifically for you. And not only Libra, but all of the signs and all of the planets. And so you can book that reading. You can also book the mini edition of The Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, where I specifically look at your sun, moon, and rising signs only instead of your entire chart. But that is a good way, if you've never delved into astrology before, to understand more about your sun, moon, and rising signs, because you're more than your sun sign. So that is what those readings are all about. Also at that link there, if you scroll all the way down, you will see my Cash App and my PayPal links. I greatly appreciate any donations that you give for this free work that I do. This is a labor of love, but it is something that I know for certain that so many of you are benefiting from. And so if you want to show your love through a love offering, no donation is too small or too big. I highly appreciate any donation that you give. All right, so that is it for our message and our announcements. For those of you who selected card group number 1, your reading is up next. Greetings, those of you who selected card group number 1, this is your reading. If you skipped ahead to this reading and you missed my opening message, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to that either now or at the end of this reading, because I talk about specifically what this, with us being in Libra season means, and the sign of Venus. The planet Venus, which rules the sign of Libra, and how those two are playing a role in attracting into our lives the good that we desire. So make sure that you go back and listen to that, because that information is very key to this reading here. Also, click the link below to get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, to book a personal reading, and to leave a love offering, a donation, if this reading is beneficial to you in any kind of way. I greatly appreciate all those donations. So, the stone that you all have at the top of your deck is a peach selenite, and the peach selenite, just whatever reason here lately, they keep showing up in the pick a card readings. I keep feeling, kind of led, if you will, to include them. It's a very beautiful stone. And this one is cut in the shape of a heart. I actually received this as a birthday gift this year, during Virgo season, my birthday season, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so peach selenite is a stone of love. It is one of those stones that you use when you're pulling love into your life, attracting love into your life, perhaps even healing from any matters of the heart, maybe heartbreak or just, disappointment, anything of the heart, helping you to, find forgiveness, find love, find compassion. And so it really deals with all of that heart chakra energy, but also on a higher level of just of self-love, of, even having awareness about what areas you need to pull more love into your life, or where you can be more loving. And so if you want to know more about this particular stone, make sure that you do what I always tell y'all to do. Use Google to look up peach selenite. All right. So, as I stated earlier and in the opening message, this week is all about us entering into Libra season. Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, the planet of love, attraction, beauty. And so we're really looking at what you need to know, do, and be aware of in order to align to the type of lovely situations, not just love relationships, but lovely situations into your life. What you need to do in order to pull and attract those into your life. And so I will go ahead and get started. This card on top here is from a goddess energy deck. And whether you're a man or a woman, even though this is a goddess deck, the goddesses have messages for us all. So it's not about it being a goddess deck. It's about the message. So some of the goddesses I'm familiar with, some I'm just learning about. So I will give my insights about whatever goddess you have here, and then I will read the message that comes along with this card. All right. Wow. Demeter. Wow. Okay. So you received the goddess Demeter. Let's see how closely I can get this card. Demeter. Oh my gosh. This particular card, this particular goddess, and I think she came up a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you're returning here, if you've seen, if this is ringing a bell for any of you. But the goddess Demeter really connects to this time of the year. A lot of times she's actually connected to the sign of Virgo, the sign that we're just coming out of, but also can be connected to Libra season. And because she's a harvest goddess, she deals with the harvest season. You can see the wheat in her hand. She is the goddess who could live lofty and on high like all the other gods and goddesses, but she chose to live closer to the earth realm. So she's very much an earth goddess and connected with the material world, with the desire of helping mankind, with helping, not just being a god that's far, far away or goddess is far, far away. She was very much connected to helping people. And so she, in her story, she, like I stated, was a harvest time goddess. And she had a daughter who actually represented the springtime. She represents the late summer and fall, and her daughter represented the spring. And her daughter was kidnapped, and she could not find her daughter. She searched all over the world, couldn't find her. And finally, her someone told her that the Pluto, I believe it was, a god of the underworld, had kidnapped her daughter and pulled her down into the underworld, where the dead are. And so she goes down there to rescue her daughter. But, during this time period, while her daughter's missing, the earth goes barren. The leaves begin to fall. The harvest stops, and fall and winter come. And then when she finds her daughter, some way more detailed story than this, but when she finds her daughter, then spring comes back and life is renewed. And so when I see this particular goddess, I know that we're dealing not only with cycles, but we're also dealing with learning to let go and understanding that new life is coming back to you. Something better is being reborn into your life. And so let me just read what the card says, the information about the card. 1 second. So we're looking up Demeter. All right. So I will read 2 messages. The first one is the empowerment message to let you know how the energy or the message of Demeter empowers you. And then I will read the alignment message so that if during the week you find yourself out of alignment with this energy, you'll know what to do. So the empowerment message says, giving to others is a wonderful feeling. When you have a healthy sense of yourself, you want to share your love, your inspiration, and your experience, and the exchange feels clean. Your boundaries are fluid yet strong. The Greek goddess of grain, motherhood, and the harvest, Demeter, reminds you that a harvest is meant to be shared. You've now tapped into her nurturing love, which is abundant, and your well-meaning gestures will be received with gratitude and in some way returned to you tenfold. Now is the time to nourish yourself too, for giving must be balanced by receiving. Allow yourself to feel how the universe is like a wonderful, nurturing mother that is always there when you need her. Demeter says to trust that you are loved and cared for all day, every day, and for all time, especially now. Wow. And that kind of ties into my opening message, if you listen to that, where I talked about how a lot of times when we're trying to attract and pull love into our lives, we're trying to attract people, jobs, circumstances, money, cars, houses, whatever, that we don't even feel like we measure up to yet. Like we're like, oh, I wish I could have that great, wonderful thing. And it's like, no, I stated earlier in that message that it's about aligning, getting your energy already elevated to the level of what you're trying to pull into your life. So you don't want to be of a low self-esteem trying to pull something better than you to you. You want to already know that you are loved, that you are cared for, that you are worthy of the circumstances that you are striving to pull into your life. And so the alignment message says, do you sometimes overgive to people until you're an empty well? Perhaps you've attracted others who are needy and want you to look after them. Or you might be in a pattern of people pleasing because you're afraid to set boundaries. There is a sticky quality to connections based on this need to be needed. Although the possible repercussions for setting boundaries are in your mind, your body holds onto fear tightly, so it can be scary to make a change. No one wants to admit that they are manipulative or codependent. But it's important to be honest about where you find yourself now. Demeter knows the price of this way of being, as it caused her to lose something so dear to her. Now she has come to show you another way. Your alignment task is to recognize that it's time to step back, take a breath, and say no to the behaviors and people you know are draining you. It's that simple. The divine is the one with the plan. Gather your love, your nourishment, and your self-worth. Choose how you nurture and how you want to receive it. You are so loved when the goddess Demeter brings you her nurturing energy to help you course correct. Wow. So again, it's still dealing with self-love. In the story Demeter, with Demeter's story, so much of her self-worth and her value, even though she was a goddess, was connected to her child. And so when her child, was gone, the whole world suffered. The whole world went into wintertime. The whole world died. And of course that turned around, but it's still about understanding, are you being manipulated by the people who say that they love you? Do you feel codependent in any kind of way? Do you feel like your worthiness is attached to whoever you are attached to? If so, then this week you are highly encouraged to look at that and know that during this Libra season, which is ruled by Venus, which is another goddess actually, you're pulling in that love. You're pulling in the level of love that you already have for yourself. You're pulling in the level of goodness and sweetness that you already have for yourself. All right. And so come out of any situations that make you feel beneath yourself. Okay, because, as long as you're allowing that and not setting proper boundaries, you'll continue to attract that into your life. All right. So let's go into your other cards. Your card on the bottom is your general wisdom, guidance, and energy. The card that crosses it is what will let you know what can help this first card or hinder that energy there. And so you receive the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords and the Three of Swords. The King of Swords and the Three of Swords. So the King of Swords is all about awareness. The King of Swords is no joke. He does not mind cutting people off. That is what that sword is there for. But not in a mean sort of way, right? He's not just going around swinging his sword to cut people off, in a just for the sake of doing it or just because he has the power to. He's very discerning. He's very clear in his mind about what is good for him, what is not good for him. And what is not good for him, he's not afraid to cut off. The swords always deal with mental energy, like clarity of mind, information, what you know, what you don't know, and coming into full awareness. Because this is the King of Swords, which is one of the higher cards in the suit of swords itself, means that you are either coming into a time of supreme clarity and awareness, like there's no more illusions, there's no more lies, there's no more confusion. You're coming into a place of complete clarity and discernment. I would highly encourage those of you who selected this card group to not lie to yourselves. It's one thing when somebody else lies to you, right? We can't control what other people say, what they do. But you can control what you say and do to yourself. And one of the worst things that you can do to yourself is to lie to yourself, which is a form of betrayal, self-sabotage, self-betrayal. So you are highly encouraged to get very, very clear about all areas of your life, because remember, this reading is all about what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to pull into your life, attract into your life more lovely situations. Now, I don't know what it is that you want or are wanting, or what lovely means to you. Some people that means more money. Some people that means, a marriage or a loving partnership. Some people that means a new job, better health, whatever your situation is very important that you get very clear, not only on what it is, but ways that you might be blocking yourself. And for those of you who want to say, well, I don't know how to block myself, I'm just trying out here and I don't know how I can get around this, that, and the other. When I see this King of Swords, I already know that you probably already know what the deal is. You already know any areas of your life where you're blocking yourself, sabotaging yourself, lying to yourself, where you see the truth and you don't want to see it, so you're lying to yourself about what you see. This is a card, when I see it, I know it's a time to get very, very honest, because again, the King of Swords is a card of power. So it's almost like when we are lying to ourselves, or maybe we've been lied to and we're believing the lie, our inner selves knows the truth, because lies don't sit well with us for too long. And so, because this is a card of power, it also is indicating to me that you have the power to cut certain situations out of your life that are not beneficial, or to stop lying to yourself, stop allowing yourself to be deceived, stop dealing with self-deception. And no more victimhood, no more, well, this person lied to me, so, or this, this situation, whatever. Even if somebody else was doing the lying or the deception came from somewhere else, at the end of the day, you have the power over your own life. The King of Swords doesn't care who lied to him. He knows, though, that he has the power to cut that person off, or cut that situation off, or get out of that situation. And I'm saying this too because it's crossed by the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is a card. Obviously, you see the heart there. So it is dealing with a matter of the heart. But the swords are piercing the heart. So it's like having an awareness, a knowing, new information, or something that pierces down to your heart. Sometimes we learn about things and it's just, okay, I heard this or I learned this, and it's just information in our minds. But sometimes we learn things and it rocks us to our core. It rocks us to our heart, or it impacts something that matters to our heart, that matters to, to our heart matters, right? And so those are the hardest situations sometimes to deal with, because it's things, people, situations, circumstances that we love. I mean, it could just be, maybe having your heart set on having a certain opportunity, and then new information comes, and that opportunity doesn't happen, or that contract doesn't go through, or that relationship isn't all that you thought that it was. But it's that information piercing the heart that makes it seem, so much more difficult, because it's a personal matter. It's a heart matter. Having these two swords here is very impactful, because it's like the King of Swords saying, but you have the power over, it's not necessarily mind over matter, but you have the power to decide if you allow yourself to stay in any illusion, if you allow yourself to be betrayed, or to continue to betray yourself for fear of letting go. What did that message say? Let me pull that back up. In the message from Demeter, it said something about, okay, do you sometimes overgive to people until you're an empty well? Perhaps you've attracted others who are needy and want you to look after them, or you might be in a pattern of people pleasing because you're afraid to set boundaries. There is a sticky quality to connections based on this need to be needed. Although the possible repercussions of setting boundaries are in your mind, your body holds onto fear tightly, so it can be scary to change. No one wants to admit that they are manipulative or codependent, but it's important to be honest about where you are, where you find yourself right now. If you're in a situation where you are feeling, you have a need to be needed, or you're in a situation where you can't let go because you feel like you're in too deep in the heart wise, the King of Swords is saying you're never in too deep to put yourself first. You're never in too deep to release a situation that is not beneficial for your heart, for your love, because you're pulling more into yourself. You're pulling more into your life. And that's what even Demeter, her message, is saying, is that, she ultimately got back what she wanted. She ultimately got back the love of her life, which was her daughter, and the seasons began anew, but that came from clear, finding out the truth and facing the truth of the matter. And so for some of you, there may be a truth that you're becoming aware of, or a truth that on a soul level, in the deepest part of yourself, the truth. And you have to This is a good time. I won't say you have to. You can do what you want to do, but it's very important that you get that you're not under any delusions. That you're not under that you're not lying to yourself. And I keep saying lying to yourself because a lot of times we blame the person that lies to us. And we say, well, this person did this, or maybe my job did this, or, whatever. Right. And that may be true, but it's up to you if you stay in that situation. It's up to you that once you know the truth, how do you deal with that situation? And if you stay there, you have to ask yourself, am I here because I feel I can't have better? I can't move forward. I can't, I can't have the good that I see for myself. This is all that life has to offer me. So I might as well just accept what I have and just suck it up. But if you choose to stay in mediocre situations, mediocre relationships, mediocre home, mediocre life, mediocre job, whatever your thing is, instead of, elevating to a more lovely experience, however you define that, then you have to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, now I'm doing this to myself. Nobody else is doing this to me. I'm doing this to myself. The King of Swords, though, is not a victim. He is never a victim. He is somebody who when this card comes, sometimes people say he's heartless. It's not that he's heartless. He just understands that in order to protect his heart, he has to make wise decisions to protect his heart. And so you are encouraged to make wise choices, wise decisions in order to protect the matters of your heart. So let's see what your wisdom card says. Wow. Truth be told, no more illusions. No more illusions, no more self sabotage, no more self-doubt, no more lying to yourself. Truth be told. So let's see what that message has to say. Honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. There is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that keep you tied to an illusion will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with miracles. Wow. It's interesting that the swords also deal with communication. So to have two swords cards here, and truth be told, is saying that that this is a time for you to be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. This isn't a time, what it say, this is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. Some of you may find yourself in debates with certain people. You're arguing. Have you ever been in an argument with someone about what you want? And you up here really arguing with this person. And at the end of the day, you're like, I cannot believe this person just taught me into accepting less for my life because it makes their life more convenient and easy. Like I'm trying to defend the fact that I want better for myself. Some of y'all are in some ridiculous arguments with people, trying to convince them, you're trying to get other people on board with the notion that you deserve better for your life. When really, if you just get on board with it, they'll either have to get on board or get off the boat. It's just that simple. That's how you love yourself. That's how you pull more, loving situations, into your life. Be like Demeter. At first she was just a little earth goddess, having a good time. And then when she realized something was taken from her, she went and sought the truth so that she could have the love that she desired. Get clear about what is holding you back, what is hindering you, matters of the heart. If you hear something and in your heart that is true, don't lie to yourself. Don't be in denial. Truth be told, accept the truth, accept the wisdom and guidance that is being offered to you and being presented to you at this time. And then don't argue with folk about the good that you want for your life. Don't live a mediocre life because it makes somebody else comfortable. Do you, boo? All right. So that is your reading for this week, September 22nd through September 28th. Make sure you comment your card selections by Monday, September 23rd. If you want your name included in our September giveaway, make sure you go back and listen to my open message to get that information there. Come back to your reading throughout the week because you may have heard something that you missed just now. You'll hear it when you listen to the message again. And make sure that you click the links below in order to book a personal reading, get the magic of self-love, and to leave a donation. Until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Well, hello there. Welcome to the Pick a Card reveal for card group number 2. Those of you who skipped ahead to this card group and you missed my opening message, I highly encourage you to either go back and listen to that now or after we do these cards here, because I go into detail about us being in Libra season and about Libra being ruled by the planet Venus, which is all about love, beauty, and attraction. So that will help you to have a deeper understanding of what your reveal will say. Also, make sure you click the link below to book a personal reading, get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, or to leave a donation via PayPal or Cash App. That is also on that same link there. I appreciate all donations. And so the symbol, if you will, that is on top of your cards here is a bumblebee. This came with a candle that I had purchased a while back that kind of looked like beeswax. It was a beautiful yellow candle that looked like beeswax, and it had like this little bumblebee trinket hanging from it. And so the bumblebee is and honey like, go hand in hand. We wouldn't have honey if it were not for bees. We need bees to pollinate our plants, and that's how so many, not just honey, how we get honey, but a lot of our fruits and vegetables are in partnership with bees. So bees play an integral role in helping us to create life and the things that we need in order to survive. I chose this also because this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, or be aware of in order to tap into that Venus and Libra energy, which is all about beauty and attraction. And the bumblebee is oftentimes, or bees in general, oftentimes associated to or with the goddess or the Orisha Oshun. You'll oftentimes see her with honey and bees and whatnot. And so I put that there for this very reason. So if you want to know more about what bees do, or Oshun, or whatever, anything that I stated, you can always do what I always tell you to do. Google. So the card that is at the top of your deck here comes from a goddess energy deck. I don't know what cards are there till I flip them over. Whether you are a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. The goddesses have a message for us all. And so some of the goddesses I'm familiar with, some I'm still learning about. So I will give my little information, my little 2 cents, and then I will also read the information that comes with this particular card. So let's see which goddess you receive. Wow, you got a warrior here. Artemis. Wow. Let's take that card in for a second. You see here that at the bottom it says focus. She is pulling her bow and arrow, or pulling her arrow back in the bow. She is focused. She has clear vision. She knows what she wants. And she is aiming directly for it. This week, because we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to attract the good that you see and want for your life into your life, A lot of times I talk to people about, what they are trying to attract, what they want. And so often people say, I don't know, I kind of want this, I kind of want that, kind of want, and I just think, and it would be nice if I had this, but I don't know. And, and so often we can talk ourselves out of pulling into our lives the very things that we say that we want. And it comes, I don't know why we do that. I think, sometimes we don't sit and really get clarity on what we want. We're not even sure what we want. So we just kind of take whatever life hands us. Or we know what we want, but we feel like we can't have it. We feel like we don't deserve it. We feel like we don't have what it takes to get it. And so we know what we want. We just don't think we can have it. And I've seen miracles happen, all the time, like miraculous, like doors opening up for people, opportunities coming, that people didn't have the money for, people didn't have the experience for, people didn't have the right network for, and yet the opportunities came to them because they were very, very clear about what they wanted, and they weren't afraid to stand in the position that allowed that thing to flow to them. I've seen it in other people's lives, and I've seen it in my own life. And I, could tell you stories about it, but that's not what we're here to do today. But, so that is what, that's what that's all about, is being clear and being focused and not being afraid to want what you do want just because you think that you can't have it, but also being clear on what you want so you can aim for it. And aiming for it doesn't always mean working hard for it. But it does mean getting in position, getting in alignment. That's why I told you, make sure you listen to my opening message in case you missed it, because most of what you're trying to attract into your life is not so much about grinding hard for it, but it's about aligning to it and becoming the person who can pull and attract that into your life. All right. So let me actually read the message that comes with this card. The first message that I will read is the empowerment message, which lets you know how the message of this goddess is empowering you this week. The second message I will read is the alignment message, so that if you find yourself out of alignment with focus, with Artemis, with the energy of this goddess, then you'll know what to do to get back into alignment. All right, so the empowerment message says, in order to fully embrace the intentions you have set in motion and your current conditions, it's important to seize the moment. Now is the time you can truly make your mark, as the Greek goddess of the hunt, Artemis, will help guide your arrow. Surrender yourself to the process of whatever is calling for your attention. Immerse yourself fully in whatever needs your focus, and allow yourself the experience of deep, abiding trust. If you aim true and your heart is open and pure, grateful for all the bounty that surrounds you, your deepest desires will manifest before you like magic. Wow. That's really key. Staying focused, being courageous enough to aim for what you want. And for many of you, aiming for what you want is, some of you may just be, getting clear about what you want and not being ashamed for wanting what you want, and just being able to say, hey, this is what I want. And I don't have to make excuses about why I want what I want. It's just what I want because I want it, right? So the alignment message says, sometimes you can be fooled. Excuse me. Nope, that's not what it says. It says sometimes you can be so focused on one thing, one way, one outcome, or one expectation that you run the risk of losing the opportunity to experience what you genuinely desire. You may be so fixated that you become blind to what is truly yours and what will be in your best and highest good. The goddess of the hunt offers this alignment task. Soften your focus and allow the fulfillment of your desire to come to you as it will. Whether you hit your mark now is not the point. Rest your eyes and release the tension in your body. By taking this break, you will avoid shooting yourself in the foot and instead recognize that you are so loved. Love, success, and opportunity, all that is truly yours, will not run past you. Call on the goddess Artemis to remind you of this truth. And, I totally agree with that, because sometimes, we all want something so badly and we're so focused on it, on that specific thing, that we actually sabotage it. We actually kill it in the process, or we miss the thing that's really better for us, which is another thing I talk about in the opening message. It's not about, for example, wanting a specific spouse, that specific guy or that specific woman so badly, for example, that you're only aiming for that person. It's really about aligning to the type of person that is best for you, and then allowing, God, the ancestors, the universe, your higher self, however you define it, to bring that person to you. Because sometimes we aim for things because they look good. We have this image in our minds of what it would be like to be with that person, or to live in that house, or to drive that car, or to travel to that place, whatever. And we don't even know that it may not even be right for us. So we got to be able to aim right and exact. And in order to do so, sometimes it's not about being super specific, but it is about being clear about the type of situation, the type of lovely situation we want for our lives, and then asking for guidance on how to position ourselves for it. All right. So that is what Artemis, that goddess, has for us, for you all who selected this card group. So these cards here, the one on the bottom is your general wisdom, your, where you are, your general wisdom. The card that crosses it helps you to know what will help this card here or hinder that card there. Wow. Okay. So you got the Seven of Swords and the Magician. The Seven of Swords crossed by the Magician. Wow. All right. So, let's take a look at this card for a second. The Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is about seizing the moment. It is about seizing opportunities. It is about seeing your shot and taking it. It is about doing what is best for you. Now, on the flip side, this card is also about, yes, seizing the moment, taking what's best for you, but in a way that is kind of deceitful, in a way that is kind of, riddled with betrayal or sneakiness or cunning. Now, because I don't know which ones of you have selected this card or not, I'm going to give you my interpretation of both outcomes. Sometimes we do have to do what's best for us. Sometimes, we do have to seize our opportunity and run with it, right? And as long as doing so is not betraying someone else, it's not hurting someone else, then it's all good. But I'm going to ask yourself, if there's an opportunity that is before you, if there is a person that you want to have a relationship with, if there is a car that you want, some money that you want, an opportunity that you want, and going about it seems in any kind of way deceitful to you, then I'm going to ask you to get really, really honest with yourself and just say, are you ready for whatever outcome that may possibly have? Because sometimes we lie to ourselves and we say, well, I'm going to go and try to go after him because he don't really love his wife like that anyway. Or, I know this person is up for this promotion, but I don't think he should have it. I mean, why does he get to have everything? I think I should have it, or just, whatever, I don't know your story. I don't know your situation. You'll have to look at your own life and be honest about it. But when I see the Seven of Swords, I know that generally there's some kind of deception happening. Now, it could be somebody deceiving you. It could be you're going after something. You have your arrows aiming in a particular direction, and then somebody's going sneakily behind your back to kind of usurp you from having that. But since you're the only one here, you're the one, not that other person, perhaps. I'm going to talk to you. I want you to really ask yourself, the things that you want, is it because of is there any trace of jealousy or envy? Is there any trace of, I've just been through so much. And so I feel like this should be mine, because sometimes we use even our suffering to justify our deception, right? I've been through so much, or, when it's going to be my turn to have love, or when it's going to be my turn to have an opportunity. So, I just gotta, just going to take this because, I all that I've been through. Well, you're not the only person in this world who's been through some things. And if the only way that you can get ahead in life, the only way that you can have love and happiness and joy is through any measure of deceit, any trace of deceit. Because some of y'all might, as y'all listen, y'all might be lying to yourselves right now. Like, I ain't being deceitful. I'm just, just kind of going for mine. Okay, however you want to say it. Any trace of jealousy, deceit, underhandedness, whether it's major or just slight, what do you think the long-term effect of that is going to be? Usually it's not going to be long-term love, because you don't generally get genuine love from deception. And even if somebody is in a situation right now, if they're not willing to come out of the situation to deal with you, then that's not the best situation. That's just going to be a sticky situation in the long run. Or if it's a job, or if it's some sort of money, you might be engaged in a business where you feel like you have to cheat people, or you have to do something deceitful. And maybe some of you may feel like, well, that person's already making enough money anyway, so they won't mind if I don't pay them the full amount, or they won't mind if I take this opportunity because they're already doing pretty good. You don't know what somebody else got going on. They might look like they're doing good on the outside, but you might actually be hurting them. So just make sure as you get your comeuppance, that it's in a way that doesn't feel like backstabbing, and deceitful, because I can tell you the long term of that is not good. The Magician, this card being crossed by the Magician, I oftentimes really, really love the Magician card, because the Magician reminds you that you have the power within yourself to manifest anything that you want in your life. It has, the Magician has the swords, the wands, the cups, the pentacles, all of the entire tarot at his hands. Basically, he has, the ambition, the drive, the resources, the money, the opportunity, the people, the love, everything, the information, everything. So this is telling me you have knowledge over someone. Perhaps you have information, you have the ability to manifest and to attract whatever you want into your life, which is a great thing. Occasionally, though, when the Magician appears in a reading, he is acting like a trickster. So with them crossing this card, it's almost like you using your own power in a deceitful way. You having some sort of upper hand and not using it in the most honorable way. You doing something just because you can do it. You taking advantage because you can, because you have the power to do it. And so the Magician energy can be a dangerous energy to have if you are the one who is deceptive, if you are the one who is willing to do anything to get what you want. So I'm going to ask you to go deep within your heart this week, because this week is about attracting into your life the good that you desire, attracting into your life the lovely situations, partnerships, opportunities, material wealth, or material possessions that you desire, right? You have what it takes to manifest this in the best way, in the right way. But it's up to you to do it that way. Because if you're acting in fear, like, I gotta take it now, because if I don't, I ain't never gonna be able to have what I want, and doing any type of deceptive underhandedness, anything that doesn't feel right to you. Even if it's not necessarily illegal, but if it just doesn't sit right with you, because deep down that you kind of had to hurt somebody to get what you want, then I'm going to ask you to just, to realize that you don't have to do it that way. Trust that there is a better way. Trust that there is a better way to get what you want, to access the good that you have for your life. Because any good that is obtained through any level of jealousy, envy, deception, in the long run is not for your highest good. And some of you may be so focused. I was going back and looking at the alignment message that Artemis has, because some of you may be so focused on something so specific that you feel like if you don't do whatever it is you think you got to do to get it, that it's going to be lost to you forever. And that's not true. And that's not true. You don't want anything that you had to do something underhanded to get it, even if it's a good thing. Let your good come to you. What's good for you and what's right for you is yours. Use your power, to say use your powers for good, not evil. That's what this magician is about. The magician is the magician can be the best master of deception or the best master of attraction. The best manifester. Be the best manifester. All right. So let's see what your wisdom card says. You received here and now. If you look, see, we got the past behind us, the future ahead of us, but the here and now is here and now. So let's see what here and now has to say, what wisdom this card has for you. Here and now. Being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. Wow. Wow. You already have the potential to create the miracles that you want in your life right here and right now. I would encourage some of you may be feeling like there's only one way to get what you want for your life. So, I would encourage some of you to go into some serious prayer or meditation, because meditation helps you to block out the past. And some of you may be looking at disappointments from the past and being so determined not to relive those disappointments, being so determined not to be the one who is deceived again. So rather than being deceived, you're like, shoot, I'm gonna go get mine. But there's a better way. There's a better way. And if you're so focused on what happened in the past, and so focused on not repeating that, or you're so so focused on not repeating that again in the future, you're overlooking the power that you have in the here and now to manifest the good that you want. The good that you want doesn't have to come through anything that doesn't make you feel good in the here and now. If you have to do something in the here and now that doesn't feel good in order to get what you want, then it's not going to have the outcome that you want, at least not for the long term. All right. So focus in on the here and now. Go into meditation this week. Really focus on what you want, not on the fear of not having it, not on the fear of losing it or somebody else taking it. Focus in on what you truly want and how you can pull that into your life, how you are deserving of it. You are worthy of it. Imagine yourself having it, being it, doing it, living it, experiencing it in the best possible way without a cloud of guilt over your head because you know you went about it the wrong way. All right. So that is y'all's reading for this week. It's a good reading. I think that y'all can manifest some amazing, lovely situations in your life. You just don't have to, it just doesn't have to be any deception in it. It just, it doesn't, it just doesn't have to be any deception in it. All right. So that is your reading for this week, September 22nd through the 28th. Make sure that you comment your card selections if you're watching this on or before September 23rd, Monday, September 23rd, that you comment your card selections below so that you can automatically be entered to win our September giveaway, which it will be announced at the end of the month. Click the links below to book a personal reading, to get the magic of self-love and to leave a donation. Until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Oh, also make sure, I don't know if I said this earlier, make sure you come back here, watch this reading again throughout the week, because sometimes something can make more sense to you later than it does right now. So come back and watch this reading again throughout the week. All right? All right. Talk soon. Peace and love. All right, y'all. So greetings. Welcome to the Pick a Card Reveal for card group number 3. Those of you who skipped ahead and missed my opening message, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to that message either now or at the end of this reading, because I talk a lot about us being in the sign of Libra now, and Libra being ruled by the planet Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction. And you know that this pick a card reading is all about attracting into your life more loving, more lovely, more desirous experiences. And so that message that I give at the beginning helps you to have a deeper understanding of your reveal, your results here. And so I also encourage you to click the link below to book a personal reading, get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. And at that same link, you can also leave a donation if this reading is beneficial to you in any kind of way. I greatly appreciate those as well. So at the top of your cards, you have some lovely rosebuds. These rosebuds smell really good. I wish you could smell them. I have a jar of these. I'm sorry, I had to smell them. I have a jar of these, and when I open the jar, they smell so sweet, and not even like just floral like you think with roses most of the time. It's really a sweet smell. And so roses are a symbol of love. They're a symbol of attraction, of femininity, and that feminine energy is what, whether you're a man or a woman, is used to attract into your life lovely situations, no matter, whatever you just define as a lovely situation, and circumstance and experience into your life. And so that's why oftentimes roses are given as gifts, as a symbol of love. And sometimes people think that roses are overrated, but there's a science behind that. It's a science even behind, if you buy rose essential oil, the impact that it has on your brain and your heart chakra energy, and even like your womb space if you're a woman. And so roses and rose buds have a very lovely vibration to them. They really resonate with the heart chakra. So, you know what I always say, if you want to know more about rosebuds, make sure that you Google rosebuds, rose essential oil, and just learn about their benefit, how they benefit you. All right. So the card that we have on the top here is from my Goddess Energy deck. Some of the goddesses I'm familiar with, some I'm still learning about. So I will give my own interpretation of this card. And then I will also read the message that comes with this card. Okay. So the goddess that you received, Isis, also known as Osset. I always call her Osset. That's her Kemetic name. But Isis or Osset is an Egyptian or Kemetic goddess from ancient Egypt, obviously. And under her name, you see what's written here is rebirth. She does represent that rebirthing energy. She is was the wife, in her story, she was the wife of the god Asar or Osiris. And they had a son named Horus, also known as Heru. And so if you watch any of the stories, like, what is that movie? It's like, what was that movie? I don't know. Was it The Prince of Egypt? I can't even remember. Because the movie made me mad a little bit on some of the characters. But anywho, it was like with a lot of Egyptian mythology in it. You probably saw where, the story of Horus, rising and defending his father. So basically, anyway, Isis is the goddess who was married to Osar or Osiris, and her husband, long story short, was killed by his brother and cut up into many different pieces. And so Isis, along with her sister, searched throughout all the world to find her husband. She was so heartbroken. She was so devoted to her marriage that she, went and found all of his body except for one piece, his manly part she couldn't find at first. And then eventually it was found, and she was able to conceive and give birth to Horus, who goes on to be the hero of his people and to avenge his father's death, and all this sorts of things. And so her energy, or her story, is really one of rebirth, of bringing the dead back to life, and then conceiving and bringing out new life. And so she was a very powerful deity. She was one who was worshipped by a lot of women, men and women, either for fertility reasons or, to bring about rebirth. There's so much to her story. I'm trying not to go into too much detail here. So if you want to know more about Isis, or Auset, and Auset is spelled Auset, make sure that you Google Isis or Auset. But what I'll do now is I will read the message that the goddess has for you that's written with this card. Now, the first message is the empowerment message, is how her story can empower you this week. And then the second message that I'll read is the alignment message. So if you fall out of alignment with her story, if you fall out of alignment with rebirth, that energy of rebirth, then the alignment message will tell you what to do. So the empowerment message says, the process of soul retrieval, resurrection, and rebirth is the theme recurrent through the stories of the Egyptian goddess Isis, and one that she invites you to address now. This is a powerful moment to see some of what you thought was lost go through a process of regeneration to live again. Like magic, the pieces of you that were considered lost in old wounds and stories are ready to be reclaimed in a healthier, more mature version. Where you were hopeless, now there is hope. Where you lost faith, you have the capacity for even more now. Where there was inequity and injustice, now you can see a better way. Where you were abandoned, now you can choose you. You are ready to face these parts of yourself and to gather them together as you step into a newer, more powerful version of yourself, your work, your relationships, and your creativity. Have courage, let go of blame, claim your accountability, and then co-create something better. You can do this. The goddess Isis has come to help you as a potent supporter of your growth. Wow, that is so powerful because, I do know in her story that though she knew who killed her husband, she knew that it was her husband's brother who killed him. She didn't have time for just blame. She was about, okay, we got to put this, we got to put my man back together again, and because I have life that I need to give birth to that's going to not only avenge my husband's death, but, bring justice to our people. And so she's such a powerful force. She is Isis is the goddess of, if you've lost hope, if you feel abandoned, if you feel like the pieces of you have just been scattered everywhere, your heart, your mind, and not having that balance, that energy that she brings is one that puts your pieces back together again, where you may have lost hope. All right. And so the alignment message says, the goddess Isis, with her powers of reincarnation, has a message for you. You are not broken. You are not wounded beyond healing, and opportunities are not necessarily lost forever. Your insistence on defining yourself by your losses and wound stories are not serving you now. Your alignment task is to fully accept things as they are. Choose to find a way to put the pieces back together. Let die what doesn't serve you and focus on what works. There is so much goodness to come from this situation, even if in this moment you feel trapped. The goddess Isis wants only the best for you. As your fierce ally, she will challenge you when you go off track. So pick up the pieces, tell a new story, and find home again. You will be amazed at how beautifully things come together when you reject the trap created by the stories you tell yourself. You have the key. Use it. Wow. Again, the power was always within her. If you read her story, even through her grief and her sadness, and her upset, she did not let that stop her from living. She did not let that stop her from pursuing her purpose and living her purpose and being the goddess that she is. And so likewise, whatever your purpose is, whatever it is that you feel that you can't have, whatever lovely experiences, the good that you feel, you may be feeling like you can't have, or you're so far from, or you don't have what it takes, the energy of this card, the energy that this card is saying through the goddess Isis is that you do. There's no point in feeling trapped. You are not broken. You are whole. You are whole. And even the parts of you that were meant to break you are only there as part of your story so that you can help heal someone else, so that when you do fully overcome, when you're fully walking in your power, you'll have a great story to tell about how you overcame. All right. So your cards here, the card on the bottom is your general energy. General message. The card that crosses it is what will let you know what can hinder or hurt that energy there. All right. So you received the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Wands. The Ace of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So many swords are in this whole week. I was not anticipating this because this was all about love and attraction. I thought it was going to be a lot of cups and pentacles, but it's a lot of swords. So apparently this week, in order for there to be breakthrough for so many of you, is going to come through you getting out of your own head. You letting the worry go, the fear go, the doubt go. You getting clarity, being very, very clear. I feel like a lot of you just need to be clear about what you want. So many of you are clear about what you don't want, or clear about what you think you can't have because either self-esteem issues or money issues or past failures. And this week you're really challenged to overcome those mental blocks, because the miracles happen all the time. The impossible happens all the time. That's what the story of Isis is all about. The impossible happening, the miracles happening. So the Ace of Swords is a miracle. Look at this hand coming out, from the cosmos, from the sky, handing you a sword. The Ace of Swords is like an aha moment, an aha, awareness, clarity of mind. This week, you are highly encouraged to get very, very clear about what you want. Not about how you're going to get it or what you got to go through to make it happen, but to be very, very clear on what you want. Secondly, the Ace of Swords is all about clarity on how to get it. Now, when I see the Ace of Swords, I know that is not coming from your own brain, meaning some of you want things that you don't know how to get, right? So the Ace of Swords is telling you to be on the lookout for information, somebody saying something, reading a book, and the answer is there on how to get what you want. All right. So two things. This week with the Ace of Swords, get very clear about what you want and not clear about what you don't want. We ain't focusing on that. Get clear. Be honest with yourself is what I'm saying. Be honest about what you want and be okay with wanting whatever it is that you desire for your life. Secondly, understand that you don't know how to get there. So be on the lookout for these aha moments where, for whatever reason, some information crosses your path. Somebody says something, you read it in a book, you see it on a billboard, just a message coming to you with clarity on how to get what you want. And don't wait for everything to be answered for you in order for you, if you just get a sensation that you need to go to a certain meeting or a certain coffee shop or a certain, you just need to read a certain book, don't overthink it and say, well, why I got to go there? I don't understand. Well, just do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? So just do it. It's almost like I'm seeing, you ever hear about like, what do they call it? Like a treasure hunt or something, or one of those hunts where it's like a clue. Like you go to one place, and when you go there, somebody hands you a clue, and then that's how you know where to go next, right? And then when you get to the next place, you get another clue on where to go next. But if you didn't take the first step on that first clue to go to the first place, you would, all subsequent clues would not have been given to you. It's an act of faith for you to take that first step to go to that first place to get that first clue. So don't necessarily expect the entire pathway to be, all of the details of the entire pathway to be made clear to you, but do expect that the way is being made clear. You just got to take the first step. And then after that, the next step will be revealed to you. That's what the Ace of Swords is all about. Now, it's being crossed by the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is, every time I see the nines, I know it's like being on the brink of some kind of breakthrough, being on the brink of some kind of opportunity, of things, the door finally opened, after having gone through perhaps waiting a long time, suffering, lots of dead ends, and you're just holding on for dear life. You're like, oh God, please, when is it going to be my chance? When is it going to be my opportunity? But I encourage you to continue to hold on. The Nine of Wands, he's fierce. He's standing there. He's like, look, I done climbed this mountain. I done been and had some hills and valleys, but I am still standing. You cannot knock me down. We fall down, but we get up. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy. The only downside to the Nine of Wands is keeping your focus on all that you suffered through and all that you've been through, that you're one step away from your breakthrough, but you miss it because you're so focused on all the suffering you went through. And you see he's looking back, almost like back where he came from. And because he's anticipating being knocked down again. He's anticipating, another blow. So he's kind of staying on guard, like, okay, I'm still standing and you ain't going to get me again, which is fine. But don't be so on guard that you are so focused on protecting yourself that you miss your opportunities. You know what I mean? They're so focused on just holding on that you miss the aha moments, or so focused on, ain't nobody going to deceive me or lie to me or hurt me again, that you miss this Ace of Swords as it comes through, because you disregard it, because you just see it as, oh, this is just another heartbreak or another failure or another dead end. You know what I mean? Good things are coming, I feel. Good things are coming. Take on the energy of Aset, of Isis, who is so determined. She didn't let all of the devastation that she experienced to keep her from her breakthrough. You know what I mean? She stood her ground. You know what I mean? She knew what she desired, and she let her devotion to her love be the guiding force for her. Stay devoted to what you love instead of devoted to what you fear. Stay devoted to where you're going and what you desire and the love that you want to experience for your life, instead of the fear and the hate or the misery or the sadness that you've experienced in the past. As long as you're devoted to those lovely experiences, to the love that you feel in your heart, to the love that you desire for yourself in your life, then you'll see the aha moments when they come. You won't be so focused on the past. Instead, you'll actually be using this Nine of Wands energy to hold on for the answer, to stand strong while you wait for the answer, but allow yourself to not need to know everything this week. It's okay not to know everything. Just go with the flow. I encourage you all to read the story of Isis. And to let her story guide you. Let me plug up my device. I just got a low power mode. I would hate for this to go out in the middle of your reading. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, let's see. How can I do this? 1 second. What was I saying? saying that like y'all hear, like y'all can tell me. Let let these moments come to you. Go with the flow. You know, don't feel that you need to know everything. Allow yourself to be guided. Take it one step at a time without allowing any devastation or irritation or sadness or disappointments from the past to block your opportunities that are coming, because breakthrough is really coming for you all. Let this week be the week that you allow your own mind to kind of calm down, so that divine mind, so that the mind of God, so that the mind of the goddess, so that the mind of your higher self, the universe, however you define it, can speak to you and guide you on the direction that you need to go. All you need to do is to stand strong and to hold on. You know, not hold on to the past, not keep your eyes focused on, you know, any previous disappointments, but to just hold firm so that this breakthrough can occur in your life. And be like Isis, be like Aset, and be guided one step at a time. I think that's what I was saying. Read her story. Make sure, I would highly encourage you all to read her story, because when you actually read the story, it's like, you know, she went here searching for a part of her husband, and then, you know, he wasn't there, and then she went another place and he wasn't there. You know, it took time for her, and even I think her sister was with her to help put those pieces back together. But she was so devoted to the love of her life. And so likewise, you have to be so devoted to the love that you desire for your life that you're willing to hold on and to stand firm and to listen to spirit guide you along the way, without feeling that you have to know everything, because where you're going, you've never been before. You don't know how to get there. So you have to let spirit guide you along the way, okay? So your wisdom card that you receive, wow, chaos and conflict. Chaos and conflict. And it's very interesting that this, on this card, is like a zebra, and he's shaped like a zebra, and he's got like some zebra black and white on different places, but then he has the spots of a giraffe. And so that's the, you know, chaos and conflict. Like, what are you? You know, what is going on here? So let's see what this card, the wisdom that this card has for you. Let's see. Chaos and conflict. Disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well. As you become unmoored by it, scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. Wow, that really ties in, because, you know, this card here, this Nine of Wands, is like having been through the fight, having been through the chaos and the confusion, and still being on your guard just in case somebody else want to come with it. You know what I mean? And you're just so determined to protect yourself and stand, you know, to not be knocked down again, that you're so on guard. You're so determined not to be disappointed again or not to experience heartbreak again. So you're so on guard. And that can, and that's because of chaos and conflict, or can cause chaos and conflict. But out of the chaos and conflict actually comes order. It's out of the chaos and conflict that you know what you don't want, and that you discover what you do want, the peace and the order, that you want in your life. And so that's where spirit comes in on guiding you. The story of Isis was a lot of chaos and conflict. Actually, her husband's brother who killed him was all about chaos. He was a chaotic character who came in and killed her husband, who was all about order. So it was really about chaos coming in and killing structure and order to bring in more foolishness and chaos, right? But out of that came a new order. Out of that came a new, sometimes there's even when we do something as simple as cleaning our room, right, or cleaning the house, it always looks worse before it looks better, because we're cleaning out the clutter. We're getting rid of what we don't want. And in those moments of chaos where stuff is everywhere, it's just like, oh my gosh, when will I have my house back? When will things be back in order? But the chaos is there so that you can see what you don't want, so that you can get clarity on what no longer is serving you, so that you can allow in the good that you want for your life. So even chaos and conflict has its place. In this world, everything doesn't always run super smoothly. It's sometimes even through the conflicts. I feel some of you may have experiences that seem conflicting in the moment, but if you stay calm and don't be quick to anger, like the message just said, don't be quick to want to jump into a fight. If you just stay calm, then your calmness will actually attract in the help that you want, the favor that you want, the money and the resources that you want. Some people may see you just remaining calm in the midst of chaos and confusion and conflict, that they're like, all right, you know what, I'm going to help him, or I'm going to help her, because, she's, he or she is not, you're not irate and acting crazy. You know what I mean? You're remaining calm. So keep calm this week. Understand you're being guided. You're putting things in order. Things are coming into order. The pieces of your life are coming into order. And you're allowing spirit to show you how to do that. Your natural instinct may be chaos and confusion, or to fight your way through. But, really trust spirit this week. Trust spirit to guide you to all of the lovely experiences that you have for your life. All right. So that is your reading for this week, September 22nd through September 28th. Make sure that you click the link below to book a personal reading, to get the magic of self-love, and to leave a love offering. Also, go back and listen to this particular message for your card group throughout the week, because something I said here now may make more sense to you later on this week. Make sure you comment your card selections if you are watching this on or before Monday, September 23rd, so that you can be in the running to win our September giveaway. And also make sure you go back and listen to my opening message, so that you can get more clarity on the meaning behind your card group. All right. So thank you so much for watching this week's Pick a Card. I truly, truly appreciate it. Until we speak again, I'm wishing you so much peace and love. All right, so thank you for watching this week's Pick a Card reading for the week of September 22nd through September 28th. Make sure that you comment your card selections by Monday, September 23rd, to be in the running to win our September giveaway. Make sure you click the links below in order to book a personal reading, to get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and to leave a love offering. Also, make sure you go back and listen to whichever card group you selected, because you may have missed something, so it might make more meaning to you later on in the week, and to also listen to my opening message. I truly, truly appreciate you all tuning in to these Pick a Card readings. That really does mean a lot to me. And until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching.